So I have introduced myself at the beginning of the webinar, but I just want to emphasize that I have made most of my career with beginning with the 2 degrees in IT and in meteorology. I have made most of my career on information systems applied to meteorology and to meteorological data for outside customers, like in defense, in the spatial domain, communities, in aeronautics. And I have seen none of these domains to be closed to women. Even on the French aircraft carrier, when at the time where I have managed some projects, there were 10% of women, more or less. And I understand that it is difficult when you are the only one. This happened to me once in a conference of 70 people to be the only one. But now when we have 10 or 15%, I don't think there is any problem to reach 50%. So I have always invested time in my career also to share my knowledge via international trainings and conference. So the capacity development and training have been mentioned. I think it's very important to share the training, and this is something, an area where we find a lot of women in education. And then I have served as a Meteo France representative in OGC, and I was chairing the OGC domain working group. In OGC, there are not so many women who are chairing groups. There are not a big portion of women either. And really, my message here, and this is why I'm here in this webinar, to encourage people and to encourage women to go to technology, because I think it's I never fully understand why we are not more numerous in this area. So since 2017, I joined OGC as a director in the innovation program, and I will explain a little bit what this is it. I'm also involved in several initiatives of importance for the GEO group of Earth observation, where I meet regularly, and it's a pleasure, Angelica and Bente. And I am involved in H2020 European projects, NextGeos and eShape, in some initiatives for disasters management and information system. And I'm an alternate representative for OGC at the GEO program board, so very involved in GEO and all these activities around Earth observation. So what is the Open Geospatial Consortium? It has been mentioned a little bit before, well, quite a lot before. And it's a forum where we gather a broad community of experts, making location data and information more findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. So our core activity is to develop standards. We are well known for that, but this is not the only thing we do. So we make the link between the communities, the different alliances working on standards, and we develop a process which is very, very well defined to make sure that the consensus is clean and open to all, and to push innovation. And so this is the process we use to develop these standards in a very fair way. So what is interoperability? Is how to make the link between the human systems, the natural systems, and the physical infrastructures and the technology, because the technology can, of course, and does every day, this is what we have mentioned before, support all the decisions for the human society, and based on the natural systems evolutions and situations. So I said that OGC is well known for the development of standards. This is not the only thing we do, because all the work we do is driven by a very keen watch on the technological trends. And then we have the innovation program I am involved in. And we also have a compliance program to make sure that the standards are well implemented, and that they will be the implementation, we have high quality to ensure a good interoperability, and we make a lot of outreach. So I will dive a little bit into the innovation program, because this is the one I am attached to. So in Europe, in the US, it works a little bit differently, but we develop a lot of initiatives based on scenarios of real life, and see how the technology and the standards are applicable to solve this problem. And if we see any lack in the standards, this is where we try to improve and push the development of standards. Myself, I am very involved in NextGeos and eShape, which are two projects from the European Commission, H2020 projects. And these two projects are a contribution to EuroGeos, which is itself a contribution to the GEOS system of systems of the GEO group on Earth observation. These projects have in common some main activities, which are to make Earth observation more accessible to all. NextGeos was also developing technology, and eShape also had the implementation of 27 pilots. And we make the needed knowledge accessible to all. So again, we reach here the education and the capacity building, which we have mentioned is critical, and it's very important also for the women community. And we clarify and we try in eShape, one of the main goals I have to deal with, or one of the main challenges, is to clarify the current Earth observation landscape and resources which are offered in Europe. This has been mentioned before with the ESA platforms that can sometimes be more focused on regional aspects or on missions or on thematic. And this is what we have to clarify, because this environment is very complex, but it has a very good potential for developing business and services. And so this is why we try to support the education and facilitate the use, the access, the discoverability, the access, and the use of these data. So when people talk about technology, it is regularly presented as an opportunity or as a threat. But technology is just what people do with it. Its use and implementation just reflect the people's intentions. In the case of GEO, GEOS, and all the projects I'm mentioning here, everything is good. All the intentions are really good, and for the well-being of the humankind. I have mentioned that these projects are a contribution to GEO system of systems, and the group of Earth observation is an intergovernmental organization which is working to improve the availability and the access and the use of Earth observation for the benefit of the humankind. So all the efforts are very positively targeted to develop knowledge, means to address all types of problems which are impacting the society and its sustainability without borders. These international activities and projects develop a lot of resources, and these resources support the knowledge development online, which is a big opportunity for anyone who wants to learn without any of age, gender, or location. And if education can be a barrier for the women, all these projects which are about technology applied to Earth observation are really an opportunity, because there is a lot of material, a lot of resources which are developed online. And this is available really to all, and I would like to emphasize this. So I really feel blessed to have the opportunity to learn from others in this environment, to contribute to push innovation, to break barriers. This is what I have done during my whole career, to break barriers between the meteorological communities and the users and the complexity of the data, and and this is why I think that standards are at the core of this activity to break the silos, because thanks to the standards, we develop this interoperability. So you see that all my career, all my activity is consistent around that. And I'm very happy when I can transmit my knowledge, and this is something I can do through these projects. And both NextGeos and eShape are exactly about this. So what I would like to witness too is that before I have worked for 30 years into the public environment, now I work into a private environment, and you can have a consistent career working, following your values from the public to the private. This is not any barrier. And when evolving into the different workshops and conferences, just to address something which has been mentioned before, I'm always questioned sometimes about the low portion of women in some communities, but this is not in all communities. Earth observation is very broad. And what I have observed is that, for instance, in the ocean community, there is quite a good amount of women. In the legal environment also, I can observe quite a good amount of data of women, but this is not the case in technology. And I don't end understanding why. I really think there is some type of glass ceiling here. And well, what I would like is really to encourage women to come more to technology and specifically apply to Earth observation, where the activities are so broad and everyone can find its place where you would feel comfortable.